we're gonna look at Bitcoin. I'll kind of go over my thought process as to why I thought we were gonna have a pullback, which we've now seen happen today and potentially could continue into tomorrow. And I will also discuss equities and my thought pattern there and why I thought we might have a pullback and things like that. Quick shout out to the sponsors, the partners of this video, Prime XBT. If you use the link in the description and you use code Mayne50, you can get up to $7,000 in deposit bonuses. The key is that you need to create an account with the link in the description, and then you need to type in the promo code before you deposit any money to get access to that bonus. If you want to help me out, all this stuff I do, these streams, altcoin series videos, the educational videos, it's all 100% free for you guys here on my YouTube, and I will never charge for these videos to you, the end user. But the way to keep my sponsors happy is to use the link in the description. So please, if you haven't already, make an account on Prime, throw some money on there, open a couple trades. It is a great exchange and it helps me out a lot, and I would really appreciate it. We're gonna get into the charts now. Bitcoin, we're gonna start with the weekly chart. So we caught the low actually quite nicely on the weekly chart. As we were trading down here, down into the 33 area, I posted a tweet. I said, I think we're at or near a temporary bottom. I said not the bottom because I'm not sure, but at least a temporary bottom where we could see some relief. I said, I'm starting to buy a little bit of spot. So we had the move into the weekly order block. We came just shy of the daily breaker here, but we came into the weekly order block. We actually tagged the EQ of the weekly order block quite nicely. Just shy, it depends on the exchange. On some exchanges it hit. So I started buying some spot, 34,000 down to 33,000. And I posted it on Twitter as it was happening. Said I'm buying some spot. I think we're gonna get some relief. I don't know if the bottom is in, but I do think this is an area that we can get some relief. And as you can see, even from here, you know, we had a decent bounce. On Bitcoin, almost 15%. On altcoins, some of them bounced 20, 30%, right? So caught that, very happy. I started averaging in based on this daily order block. And then once we had this daily candle close after running that low, that was confirmation for me. We ran the low, closed right back above that. I did think we were going to go higher. Now, my expectation on this up move was around 40 to 41,000. So I'm just going to draw that out for you here. So as you can see here, this 40 to 41,000 area has been a key area of SR. It's the top there. Once we broke through, we rallied. Broke below, resistance, 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 resistance. Once it broke through, rallied, came back, retest, rally, support, broke down, sold off. So this was my expectation for where I thought price could get to on this bounce. And if you look at the weekly, we also have the beginning of a weekly bearish order block confluent with those levels as well. So I was expecting price to hopefully rally up into this area, and then I was going to be looking for shorts because I do still think eventually we run these lows. I don't know for sure, but at least short here, back into here, and then see what happens, right? But I do think these lows are still in danger of being run potentially. So that was kind of the plan. I longed down here. I wanted to take profit up here. But what I saw and what I didn't like was the type of price action that we got. I wanted to see something more break down, right? Sweep the low. Okay, maybe make a high and then make like a clear higher low and just some more decent structure. I really don't like this kind of slow grind up because this to me just looks like a bear flag. And as you can see, this kind of very slow grind, it is going up, but it's going up very marginally, not really making any higher highs, no really definable structure. This is hard to trade. Like on the daily, this is very difficult to trade. On the lower time frame, there's a little bit of structure, but this is a harder to trade area. But these kind of moves generally I find are not super bullish. Those super slow grinds up. We have seen it in the past, right? Where we had this slow grind like this. The COVID bottom was just kind of this slow grind, but even this was a little bit more clear, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? Higher high. This is still more of a trend than what we're seeing over here. So it's not impossible that this can go higher, but after what we saw today, boom, one daily candle has wiped out basically 1, 2, 3, 4. The last 4 days where we went up, wiped out in one candle. So I don't love this type of PA. I did want to see us go higher, but I ended up taking profits, and I'm pretty happy with how this trade went because I posted yesterday. Well, actually I posted 2 days ago. on this candle here, after we ran Monday's high, I posted and I basically said, okay, I think we now go to Monday's low. The next day, we had another run above that high, and then we traded down. But I basically posted, I do think that the top is in and that we're going to see some sort of pullback in the near future here. You could have used Monday's range to basically say, okay, once we failed to close within Monday's range, you short, stop there, target there. Just to Monday's low. It's a 3.5 hour trade. What I also was seeing is us getting multiple rejections into this bearish order block here. And this was the first sweep that I saw, this one. That's why I said, okay, I think Monday's low now, but we had one more, but we also ran all of the highs, right? That was last week's high. We ran it, ran this high, ran all of these highs with this candle, and then subsequently these next two candles ran there. Once we failed to, this is just rejection. When I talk about show me bearish PA, show me, when I want to short, I want to see bearish PA. When I want a long, I want to see bullish PA. This is exactly what I'm talking about here. So multiple rejections into an area of supply, sweeping previous week's highs, sweeping the Monday range and closing below it, and just failing to push up. That being confluent with stocks, which we're going to look at in a second here, also coming into resistance. I said probably not a bad time to take some profits off the table. If you caught any of this up move, I'm not saying we're retracing the whole move. Maybe we will. I don't fucking know. But probably not a bad idea to take some profits. And then boom, we saw a 5% down day on Bitcoin. Well, what does a 5% down day on Bitcoin mean? Well, that means a lot of altcoins are going down 10%. A lot of altcoins are going down double that. Why is that? Right now, BTC dominance is looking bullish. We talked about this, right? So if both are going down, but BTC dominance is bullish, that denominator in the fraction is stronger. That means Bitcoin's going down less. When BTC dominance is going down, the altcoins are generally going to be stronger. But again, it's just a fraction. So we nailed this on the head. I posted all of these levels on Twitter. I posted them in Discord, and it played out. So I'm happy with how it played out. And this was confluence with this on stocks here. When we were trading back here at the start of January, after we had this deviation above this high, right? I always talk about this setup, right? You place a high, draw out the SR. If price gets above there and then back below, that's your short setup. Your risk is there. I didn't short this, but I said, hey, after this deviation on this week here, I talked about us running this low into this weekly order block. Ran the low, massive up close. And then when we had the up close, I said, great reaction. I think this is resistance here. This previous floor, right? Once this level broke down, we shit the bed and we're rejecting now. This kind of a move in stocks, a 8% move in stocks is massive. If you're looking to buy calls down here and then puts up here, you're smashing it. But an 8% move in stocks is monstrous. And I fucking sniped it and I feel good about it. I am a little bit upset. I did get some call options on some stocks down here that I sold in the last 2 days, but I didn't end up buying any puts because I had a few stocks that I was watching. I wanted to see things push a little bit higher before I got into shorts on stocks, and I short stocks by usually buying puts on stocks. So I wanted to see us get a little bit higher and maybe have some sort of run up here and then back below, but we ping the level. We're rejecting. A lot of stocks are down massively after hours. Spotify, PayPal, Facebook, all down double-digit percentages after hours. So some nice opportunities to be had there, but we nailed this move. So the confluence of this coming up into resistance after a bottom and then a rally, BTC coming into that, I wanted it to go to 40.41, but it started rejecting earlier. This being at resistance, that was my cue to take some profits. And it worked out really well, right? I covered myself for this down move here. So the other thing that I was looking at as well, right, was this. Go look on Twitter yesterday, the last few days, how many people have this downtrend line drawn? I don't use trend lines, right? But I want to show that this is something everyone was fucking watching. Time to pay attention. Can't wait for this trend line to break. Fireworks are coming. We're going to break out of this. Blah, 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 blah. To me, this is just showing that the steepness of this line, the slope of this line is showing me that the downtrend is actually quite strong. Yeah, when we break this line, eventually, we're going to have a bounce. But guess what? The same people who drew this line here, drew it here, and we're like, we just got to break the line, or they redraw it, right? Or it's the trend line redrawer, right? Oh, here's the trend line, and then it breaks and then it dumps, and then they adjust it to here. So that's my problem. Horizontal lines are there. It's either a good line or not. The trend line was here, now it's here, and then it's here. Or the uptrend line was, here. Well, now it's here. Now it's here, right? Like there's too much ability to be subjective with it. And, oh, it's got multiple taps. It's got a break. It's like, nah, dude. And I do think there's times trend lines can work, right? But it's just not a thing that I use in my system. Like this is a perfect example right here, right? Okay, well, 1, 2, third tap, it broke. Back test, sold off. So that's a good example of a trend line. Or you could have drawn the trend line a little bit less steep and you could have said, okay, well, this is actually the trend line, right? Now if we get a back test here, you said, so trend lines can be used. I'm not saying they can't be, but it's not something I personally use. And I just thought it was funny. Go look at the comments under my tweet when I said, hey, I'm not quite sure we're ready to break out of this trend line yet. I said we might get a pop. This price action does not lead to a 10K candle this way. What's much more likely, in my opinion, is that we either dump back here, accumulate, and then break out, or we run lower and then back up, right? Some sort of reclaim or some shit like that. This kind of PA, in my opinion, obviously, wasn't gonna break this long-term downtrend line and then just give us a huge green dildo. That just didn't seem realistic to me. So we came into the trend line, everyone was talking about it, and then we printed a daily swing failure pattern right into it, confluent with all that shit I showed you on the low time frame, and that's why I took profits. Unfortunately, I didn't short Bitcoin up here, but that's okay. I saved myself, I protected myself for some downside. That's my reasoning for why I took profit where I did. That is the reason why I wasn't quite sure we were ready for a breakout yet. Hopefully that makes sense in terms of hindsight analysis, what I was seeing and why. So now I'm going to share with you guys my thoughts on what I think could happen in the next couple of days. Obviously, I think you want to be aware of what equities are doing. A lot of equities opened up gross. This is the stock market futures. So we're seeing this. It's already red. I don't know what it's going to look like tomorrow. But, if this has a big down day and the stocks that are nuking continue to nuke, it's going to look bad. And we're probably going to see a bigger pullback here in crypto. So what am I looking at on Bitcoin, for example? We've had a clear break in market structure here. On the hourly, here's the low that generated the last high. So if you didn't short here, I think you can basically pray that you get some short fills maybe up here. I don't know if you will, but I think you can hope. You can hope that you get some decent fills on shorts that you can ride for another leg down. I don't know how high this will bounce or if it's going to bounce at all. Like it might bounce to here and dump. It might roll over, but I'm pretty sure we're going lower. It just doesn't look strong to me. I think you could probably set some asks around here, and then we're going to be looking to target back towards these lows, right? Like I think a lot of these lows are going to get run if this thing really wants to nuke, right? Where would your stop go? I mean, your loose stop is up above that SFP high. I know it's loose, but the target would be pretty low, and potentially we even run this low, right? So the RR is still good. I would say at least into here, clearing out a bunch of these lows on that slow grind up. I do see a potential setup here. I don't know though. We might only come up to here. So if we only come up to here, which is the bearish order block that created this last move down, you could look for shorts here. Otherwise, I think you wait and you see how we react back up in this area. If we are able to get back up into here, this is an area I'd be interested in shorting for another leg down. And then maybe this is the higher low. A structure like this is much more likely to lead to a bigger breakout than just this kind of slow grind up into resistance with the volatility falling off. Those usually end in one of those, and that's kind of what we're seeing. I wouldn't mind shorting something like this. The stop is very obvious, right? This was the SFP above last week's high, all of those highs I discussed earlier. So if we get back above there, we're obviously going higher, so your short idea is wrong. But I think we've got a little bit of a fair value gap in here as well. So we could see a move up here and then a dump. This is a short setup I would take if given something like that. And then in terms of where this thing goes, we've got these lows here to keep an eye on, but I would much rather a higher low down here, right? And then another move up as opposed to just hoping it fucking goes from here. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong. I obviously don't know anything for sure. I'm just a Mayne who trades, right? But this is the type of accumulation that leads to a big move. This is not going to lead to a move back to all-time high. If we're going to have another run at all-time high, things need to accumulate a lot longer. If we just rally from here, chances are we're just going to put in like a lower high here and then a deeper lower low, right? So if we want the bottom to form here and not run here, not go back to 20K, this needs a lot more sideways time. Look at how long we were here from May to July, from March to May, multiple months, even here. The initial move, January, took an entire month of sideways here. This to me, it's only been a couple of weeks and it just doesn't scream bottom to me yet. If we make another low or a higher low like this or another low, something like this, that's more likely to give us a bigger bounce than just up from here. But that's my plan for now on Bitcoin. I think I've been pretty dialed in. This is a short setup that I think is completely valid. If you're interested in copy trading me, I don't suggest you do that. This is not financial advice, but there you go. Stop entry target. How else do you want it? That's all I got for you guys. So I love you so much. I'll be back with another video soon. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitter, like and comment there as well. Things you want to see, things like that. I appreciate you guys all. I love all the kind words you guys always send me, the notes about success and stuff you're dealing with. I might not always respond to all my DMs because I get a lot, but I respond to some and as many as I can. And I do read a lot of them that I don't always respond to because I don't even know what to say sometimes. Some of you guys telling me that, you know, what I share has changed the way you trade and helped you make money and like that shit makes me feel great. So thank you. I'm so happy that what I share with you guys is valuable and that you guys are learning and improving. That's what it's all about. So I love you guys. I will talk to you all soon. Fuck BitBoy. You know what it is. We're gonna see how stocks look mañana. That's Spanish for tomorrow. To the video, I look like Donald Trump. Huge. Equity Trader Mayne is possibly the best version of Trader Mayne that exists. He might be the most powerful version of Trader Mayne that exists. I gotta pee. I'll be right back. I've been chugging water because I'm drinking creatine, eating creatine. I don't fucking know. So I'm super dehydrated all the time. Just realized I'm muted. Sorry, I left the sink on. Unfortunately, I'm just a man. A very jacked, handsome man. Most of these things go like this. BitBoy gets paid here. Token list here. He talks about it here. It does this. This is all of his followers buying. And then it does this. And then it just disappears. And then about here, he deletes all the tweets and videos about it. That is the market cycle of a BitBoy show. Well, what the fuck was that? Piece of shit. Because you guys know I am something of a comedian myself. Insert the Norman Osborn, Willem Dafoe meme there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh my god, BitBoy is in the chat. Let's go. Let's go, BitBoy. If you've been following me for a while now, you know I don't really like this guy for a variety of reasons. Outside of my fat phobia, and this is the picture of unhealth here. This is like a fat phobic's nightmare here. I mean, come on.
I'm a forecast like.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I think the guy is a shady actor, undisclosed shills, pre-sales, shilling his own projects. Maybe some of those donuts he eats are going directly to his nutsack because this guy has humongous balls. And then I ratioed his ass, which is surprising because the circumference of his ass, the diameter of it, the physics barely hold up with what we know about physics today. Barely. We're gonna have some genius discover new rules regarding the law of physics just to understand the circumference of this man's ass. But I ratioed it. That's how powerful that ratio was. It broke the laws of physics itself. Wouldn't want you working too hard and missing dinner. Obviously, you don't miss any meals. That's clear. Get ratioed, son. Who the fuck is following this guy and why? If you follow this guy unironically and you follow me, please do me a favor and unfollow me immediately. Okay? Because there's no hope for you.